Us. Konbanwa. Genki desu ka? Hope you are genki desu. Hope you're all well. Welcome to Tuesday evening and karate in your own dojo. Another new setup. Got rid of the table. Cameras on the table. Kitchen's full. But anyway, we're going to see how we get on. Using a GoPro this evening to hopefully record this so we can put it on YouTube, because Facebook won't allow us to save this to my device at the moment. So just going to see if I can quickly refresh and upload the computer and just make sure we're definitely live. Here we are, fabulous. That's great. And what I'm going to do is just expand that. Oh, I need to turn the sound down. Okay, right, us. I think we're good to go. I'll quickly say hello to a few people in a second. So yeah, trying a new setup this evening. So obviously you can see we're in landscape, which means we're doing kata. I've tried a couple of katas in the kitchen before and they just don't fit. I can do the kata, but I can't do it so that it fits in the camera. And this evening, I'm using one camera to video the Facebook live stream and one to do the YouTube on a GoPro, and they shoot in different formats, and so it's really problematic. So we've played around. Debbie, my lovely wife, has been really helping me sort that out. So fingers crossed, one way or another, you'll get to see this video at least. And I do apologise for those people on YouTube that didn't get to see last week's 2 live lessons. They were brilliant, by the way. But you can see them on our Facebook Live, they're still there. So we're trying a new format. We're always trying to come up with new ideas to connect with you and keep in touch. And further to that, we're also thinking of doing the Kangeiku this year, which is the session where we get together early one morning towards the end of January, in our sort of deepest, darkest winter month, and do the Kangeiku. So the Kangeiku is midwinter training, and the aim of that, obviously, we do it every January and have done since 2015, so this will be our 6th year. Is to bring us all together, all the clubs together, and in fact anybody, because it's an open course. We train for an hour and a half roughly in the dojo, and then we have a community breakfast. So this time, obviously, we can't do that, so I'm going to look into ways of which we can maybe be able to connect on Zoom. So when looking at that into the moment, I've spoken to a couple of the black belt instructors who are going to help me out, and fingers crossed, keep your fingers crossed, that we'll be able to meet on Zoom and still train in our own dojos, and also then have breakfast together in our own dojos. So that is sort of some, hopefully plans going ahead for the rest of this month. Beyond that, the only date that's booked into the diary is the beach training in September. That's already on the calendar. If you go to our Asahi Shotokan Karate website, which is www.pottenkarate.org.uk, then you'll see that that's the only date that's really confirmed in there, because we will be able to do that regardless of anything, I think. Fingers crossed again. We'll get the lesson going in a second. This evening we're going to do kata, okay, and tonight we're going to do a brown belt kata called Tekki Shodan, okay. So if you're a beginner, it doesn't matter, okay. If you've never done it before, it doesn't matter. If you've done it 5,000 times, it doesn't matter, okay, because Tekki Shodan, there are multiple variations of it, and I find that very interesting. I've learned through many different senseis over the years, different ways of doing this kata, and they all great, because it's a really lovely kata. It flows beautifully, and it goes one way only, so it just goes sideways to the right and then back to the left. Doesn't go forwards and backwards at all. So you need your dojo to be long in terms of width, not long, wide, okay, but not long this evening. So you need less than a metre to move forward. So you might need to turn sideways. It might be problematic for you to follow this, but I'll try to describe things as best I can. I hope the audio is going to come through okay. And I hope you'll be able to hear me. And again, it's really important to get feedback. So if it doesn't work, please tell me, and then I'll change things for Thursday, and we'll look at doing something else. Always looking for feedback, just so I know that people are there and with us. So I'm just going to say hi to a few people. Okay, so good evening Andy Sensei, good evening Tim, hope you're well. Good evening Sharon Sensei, good evening Isaac, good evening Ken Sensei, good evening Andy Sensei, other Andy Sensei. There's too many Andy Senseis in our dojo. Good evening Harry and Caleb, I hope you're both well. Good evening Thomas, good evening India, welcome, hope you're well. Good evening Isaac, and good evening Sensei Wayne. Hope you're well. I hope you're all keeping well. I'll try and say hi to a few more people as we go through, because I'm no doubt going to get tired like I did last week, but hey, that's okay. So we'll do a quick warm up, get going, and then I will get the lesson started. And as I say, we're going to do Tekki Shodan this evening, with the lesson finishing at 8 PM this evening. So first of all, just straighten your gi and your obi. Okay, so if you're new to karate, then this is your dogi, okay, we call it gi for short, okay, which is your suit. It needs to be tied correctly, and then this is your obi. Mine is a kuru obi because it's black, okay, and again also should be tied correctly. Shouldn't come undone whilst you're training if done correctly. Okay, heels together, toes point out, hands by your sides. We'll do a standing bow this evening, okay, and rei os. Okay, so just nice and relaxed, arms forwards. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ko, jo. Okay, slowly back. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ko, jo. Okay, left arm forward, right arm back. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ko, jo. Okay, change. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ko, jo. Okay, arms out. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ko, jo. Crossing over. Ju ich, ju ni, ju sam, ju shi, ju go, ju rok, ju sich, ju hach, ju ko, ni ju. Okay, just relax, relax. Karate is all about learning how to control your body, okay? Muscles, ligaments, tendons, bones, every bit of connecting tissue, mentally, physically, all together, okay? And that's a really, really cool thing about it. Okay, so next thing, you're all nice and relaxed. Hopefully just pushing your hands out like so. Just let the hands flop, okay? And counting. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, ro, shish, hach, ko, and ju. And in the same to the side. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, ro, shish, hach, ko, and ju. And then upwards. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, ro, shish, hach, ko, and ju. Okay, and so now the complicated one. Ich, ni, sam. Plus. Okay, so ich, ni, sam. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, ro, shish, hach, ko, ju. And just relax. Okay, just rotating your right shoulder cuff. Just put your thumb on the top of the shoulder, rotating round, forwards and backwards. And then the left side. And backwards. Okay, then both forwards. And backwards. Okay, and then as if you're swimming with very short arms. Okay, good. I think that's the arms pretty much done, but let's just check. Ubis, tekubi, one, hijiate, MP. Okay, and relaxing. Okay, fugachi. Okay, so just stretching. So from here, when I first started Shotokan many years ago, our front stances were like this. Okay, we were very deep and very low. Okay, which was good for building the legs up. Okay, but you'll notice that as you get a higher grade, your stance shortens, okay, so you can become faster. But without this bit, this strength training to begin with as a weight belt, then your karate is going to be no good. You can't start here and go to here. You have to start low. So keeping low, stretching down. Try to keep your posture correct and back straight. Okay, back foot facing forward so you're able to move the hips still. Okay, and then just change the other way. So again, let the knee naturally drop over the front toe, which is the big toe. Okay, let the back leg not lock out. Don't stick it into the heel, into the floor and lock it out. Just relax. Centre of gravity, shoom. Just drop down. Ah, Holly-san. Us. If you've not met Holly-san before, Holly's our Shih Tzu and club mascot, and she's looking for food and she's already had it. Unlucky. So, a little bit lower this time. And then onto the ball of the foot. Good that Holly's coming in the warm-up and not when we're actually training. Okay, again, this time push down, ball of the foot. Okay, feet twice shoulder width apart. I have room this evening, can you tell? Hands down to the floor and pushing back, stretching the hamstrings. Holly-san, how are you? Hello. How you a good girl? Are you a good girl? Okay, head over to your left knee. And across your right knee. Hello. And then a little bit wider. You beautiful girl. And just push back. And this will become apparent while we're doing this. Let's do another stretch, Holly. Okay, so now on your bottom, feet out. Okay, and just leaning forwards. Okay, I can't lean much, unfortunately. I've really put my back out, so unfortunately that's as far as I'm going to go at the moment, until I see the chiropractor. Okay, over to your left side. Oh, that's quite stiff for me. Okay, so just relax your body. Feet together, grab your toes. And relax. Okay, just lifting your feet up and leaning back, but don't lean against anything, so don't cheat. So in other words, like this. Like this. And that's Holly. I'll let Holly out in a second. She's going to bark again in a second. And relax. Bring your feet in. Up you get. Straighten your gi. And your obi. So Holly-san out. That's right. That's right. Okay, we'll undoubtedly have to let Holly back in. Hopefully you're a little bit warmed up. Just be mindful, I've still got a back injury which I'm nursing at the moment, so you just have to take it easy a little bit when you're training with issues, okay? So those things can come and go, and they do in Shotokan karate a lot, so you're going to pick up injuries because it's a physical activity. But you can use your mind to help heal the body, lots of stretching, lots of relaxation, not putting your body through too much stress when you shouldn't be. So you just got to learn how to look after it, I think, is probably the best thing. And certainly over my time, my 30 years, I've learned how to change things for the better, okay? So, Tekki Shodan. So this is one of 3 Tekki katas that sit within the 26 umbrella of Shotokan karate, our style of karate. And this is number 1. So Tekki Shodan, there's Tekki Nidan and Tekki Standan. So Tekki Shodan, Tekki essentially means iron horse, okay, or some people call it horse riding, the horse riding kata. But iron horse, and this is level 1. Shodan means level 1, okay, or first level. So we're going to do this, and this is a brown belt kata from our syllabus for juniors and adults, okay. But as I say, it's quite a nice kata to learn if you go on a course. Goodness me, that seems a long time ago since I've done that. But actually, when I was younger, and I was a white belt, blue belt, red belt, I used to go to courses and used to learn some higher grade katas way beyond my level. But whilst it was difficult and almost impossible to remember any of them, it was good practice. So there's techniques that you'll recognise, and there's things that are really weird and wonderful that you've never done before. And don't forget, this is my way of teaching this evening, okay? So this is Asahi Shotokan Karate's Tekki Shodan. There are multiple variations you'll find on YouTube. I'm not going to say which ones are right and which ones are wrong, because they're all correct. They're correct if your sensei says they are. So I think it's important to respect a sensei and remember that. And they change. I've seen the evolution of this kata multiple times over my time doing karate, and that's why I find it so interesting, as I said at the beginning of the lesson. Okay, so first of all, os. So this kata essentially has 2 yois, okay, 2 yoi positions. The first would be just a normal bow, and then our normal yoi, okay, to relax here, okay, ready to start. Then we go into a shizuntai stance of haisupidachi, feet together, and this position here. Okay, the right hand and right leg slide up together, like so. And you need to make that one movement. So hopefully I'll come a little bit closer and be a little bit more in camera shot. Unfortunately, my big screen has frozen and stopped working, so I can't tell if I am or I'm not. So I'm going to have a quick look if that's okay. Slightly frustrating when this happens. Technology, eh? It will do, it will do. So, yoi position to yoi position. Okay, at this point here, there's a tendency to tense up. Okay, and start using your shoulders. Relax your shoulders. So from this position here, right? Os. Yoi. Tekki Shodan. Tekki Shodan. Tekki Shodan. Os. Hey, yoi. Together. Right hand, right leg. That's the best way to remember it. Right hand, right leg. Okay? That's your first yoi position. So when you're here in yoi, okay, this position here, everything relaxed. Just take the weight out of the knees. Don't bend your knees, okay, don't force them down, but just let gravity take your hips and just let them relax. Okay, so our first move, many people think this is a step across, okay, but what we're doing is we're actually dropping down. So we're dropping almost on the spot, okay, the left foot crosses the right foot, okay, and the hands stay where they are. And as we do, we look to our right. So a quick thing to say about Tekki is the rule of thumb is that wherever you're going, you need to be looking that way. Or wherever you're going to go, you will no idea what's happened there. Okay, so, os. Hey, yoi. So first move, dropping down, edge of the foot, sokoto, edge of the foot, sokoto, here. Okay, then your next move, your knee is going to come up to the centre, okay, here, keep it tight to the body. Drop your shoulders, drop your hips down, and just bring this contraction together. It's really important to not stick the knee out. So this unfortunately here, as soon as you do that, then you're starting to lose your balance, okay? Now there are different ways of doing this kata, as I said. So some people will swing the leg up at that point, some people kick, some people don't even bring the leg up at all. So variation, but this is the correct way for us this evening. Okay, so first move, drop down, knee up, controlled, relaxed. And then you're essentially stepping down and doing side heishu. Heishu is backhand here. Heishu here. So once more, relax. Okay, so as you drop down, you look. Look to the front now, knee up to here. And your stance needs to be natural. Okay, I don't want you to worry too much about the stance if you're learning the kata. If you know the kata, then you practice your stance. But it's just natural kiberachi, so horse riding stance, okay? Kiberachi, so make sure your knees are just naturally leaning forwards. So we have this flexion here. What we shouldn't really be doing is making the body do things it's not supposed to do, pushing our knees out. Okay, I've had multiple knee surgeries, and a lot of it is through doing this wrong over many years. This is natural, okay? This is what your body's designed to do. The kata was designed for you to use your body correctly, not make it hurt and have surgery. So this is important. Not too wide, okay, not too narrow. So just over shoulder width is probably a good measure, okay, but as I say, don't worry about it too much this evening, otherwise we're going to do it. Please, excuse me, Holly-san. Welcome to the dojo, Holly-san. You're welcome. Os. Okay, so yoi, say the kata, Tekki Shodan. Open the hands, right leg, right hand in together. Okay, so remember, just take the weight out of the hips. Okay, so first move, dropping down and looking to the right, ish. Then slowly, keep your form, bring the knee up to here, knee. Step down and san. Okay, so next move then, this left hand is on your hip, koshi. Okay, tei koshi, yeah. Elbow tucked in, okay, for good form, and then here. Okay, so it's a mawashi enpyuchi. So for people who are lower grades, sort of purple belts, remember Heian Yondan, okay, mawashi enpyuchi, okay. So just very speed it up, near to here, to this position here, okay? Very good, okay. So, right, yoi, hey, yoi, dropping down, looking, knee up, hitch, step down, elbow tucked in, drop your shoulders, striking, itch, koshi kamai. Now, as your koshi kamai, your hands drop to your hip, this slides together. Okay, so elbow here, here. Elbow here, slide. don't need to take them apart. This is, no, don't do that. So make sure elbow here, slide together. And as soon as the hands drop to the right hip, okay, our head is to the left. And the reason being is that whenever we do koshi kamae, okay, within any of our Shotokan katas, you'll always find out that your head is looking in the opposite direction, ready for the next move. Okay, and so that's just again another rule of thumb, help you learn your katas. Koshi kamae, when you're doing Hiyanyondan, koshi kamae, look in the other direction. When you're doing Tekki Shodan, koshi kamae, not looking that way, look in the opposite way. So I hope that helps you do that. I'm just checking that we're still live. Very good. Okay, great. I'm not sure the GoPro is going to work, if I'm perfectly honest, because it keeps going on and off, and that's GoPro for you, full stop, if you've ever bought one. Okay, so say your kata, Tekki Shodan. Ayoi. Okay, so remember, first move, dropping down, not stepping across, dropping down, foot over the top of the other one. Okay, looking, ish. Then ni. Balance, yeah, draw your core in. San. Shi. Hey, go. Elbow here, tucked in, relax your shoulders. Gidambarai, gidambarai. Okay, don't need to bring it up here. From the hip, gidambarai. Kagezuki, kagezuki hooking punch. Check your shoulders, don't bring your shoulder up when you do this. Here to here, here to here, here to here. So kagezuki, hooking punch. You can kind of get the feeling of drawing on somebody and then striking them with this punch. Very powerful punch using Seiken, so the four fist. Okay, so very strong. You'll notice with this kata, I think the best way for me to bring it across to teach people or show people what we do is to break it down into little Lego bricks. Okay, you know me and my Lego. Which I'm going to show you my build, by the way. I've done an incredible build recently over the Christmas period, which I'll sort of show you next week. But basically, take each brick at a time and deconstruct it. Okay, so I know the kata, you don't, so I'm going to teach you from brick by brick by brick. And the only way to keep practicing is make sure you've got the connections right, is to take it apart again and rebuild it. I think if I just show you the whole kata to start with, woo, panic sets in, fear sets in. We don't like the word fear, it's rubbish, it doesn't mean anything. So we kind of get rid of that by just working a bit at a time. And the really good thing with this kata for anybody learning it is that it's the same, the second half is the same as the first half. So it's a really, really nice kata. And because it's linear in one direction, you can learn it, I think, quite quickly. Mastering it takes a lifetime. And I wouldn't pretend for a second that I'm anywhere near that. But it's a kata that I've always really, really enjoyed. One of my previous sensei, who, God rest his soul, is not here with us anymore, he spent a lot of time with me getting this kata correct for my black belt grading, and I really, really appreciate that to this day. And whilst the way that I was taught back then is very different to the way that I do it now, that set me on the right road, if that makes sense. Okay, right. Ayoi, Tekki Shodan. Ayoi, right leg in, right hand underneath. Okay, so dropping down, looking to the right. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rog. Siege. Okay, so we continue with our next move. Half a step with the right foot. Height stays the same, so we shouldn't change our height. You just slide the foot across, and we're going again to the edge of the foot. Edge of the foot here, sokoto. Okay. So that's what we're trying to do, is just slide that foot across. Okay. And that's a transitional move. Okay, so we're transitioning now to move our stance across into the next technique. Okay, so again, transitional move. Tekki Shodan. Relax. Yes, indeed, relax. Let your shoulders drop. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Roll. Siege. Hach. Okay, so the next move then from here, this position here, you need to be flexible around your knees. Okay, you need to let your hips drop as well. But you don't want to bounce up and you don't want to go down. So you just keep relaxed. Okay, the left knee is going to come up to the centre. Okay, some people swing the leg, some people kick the leg, as I say, variation. Okay, so from the Kagazuki position here, this then comes to your shoulder. Okay, and you're going to do an uchiuki feeling, inside block. Okay, so from this position here, knee up to here. Okay, so don't worry too much if you don't land in the correct stance. Don't worry too much about that. So from this position here, okay, Gidanburai hooking punch, Kakazuki, half a step, keep looking where you're going, and then as you come with your knee, look to the front, off the shoulder, but don't bring this up. Here, inside block feeling. Okay? And you can use your hip to a degree. So I can hit inside block feeling, but from not underneath the arm, from off the shoulder. Okay, so I hope that makes a bit more sense. So what I'm going to do is just a little close-up of what we're doing. Forget the legs, you don't need to worry about those at the moment. Okay, so we drop down here to here. Hopefully this is still in camera frame. Forget the legs completely, as I say, waist up. Here, a good rotation from the body here through the hip. Here. Koshikama, Gidanburai, Kagazuki. Step across. This comes off the shoulder and then we look forwards as we bring the knee up to here. And then the next move we continue. Okay, so it's very difficult for me this evening, I'm sorry, to get whether I'm in the camera frame or not. I can't see. Technology lets me down wherever I touch it, so I'm hoping you're getting to see something at least. Okay. Tekki Shodan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, so from here, the left arm comes up and you strike. Okay, so it's quite simple. The left arm up, right arm out, and strike. Like an Arazuki, which is an uppercut punch. Okay, it's not Sotoryuki, it's not outside forearm block at all. Okay, so it's really important that we kind of get that. So this feeling of here, coming up, here, and strike. Make that one movement as much as you can. Okay, so from here, this position here, keep all this correct and form. Okay, form, come up, and strike. 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 I'm having a tendency to look at the GoPro, which is lower than the camera that I'm doing on Facebook Live, so it's very, very challenging this evening, but having a go. Okay, so I think we're still live and it doesn't look too bad, does it? Okay, so, and then we're getting there. We're 2/3 of the way through the first half of it, if that makes sense. Remember, Sensei's maths is never that great, right? Hate you all. And remember, it doesn't matter what level grade you're on. If you find that I'm going too fast, I've only got an hour to do this evening. I'd like to take 3 hours, but I think I wouldn't get away with it. My family have gone for a walk, so giving me a bit of free time. It's really, really important that you just have a bit of fun, okay? And if you get your arms muddled up and you get the wrong leg moving, it does not matter. Shotokan karate is learning through mistakes, okay? We spend our lifetime doing it. And I think it's important to just accept that and enjoy it and enjoy the moments, and don't put too much stress on yourself. Eventually, it will click into place. Now, I never believed that as a student, okay, but I know it as an instructor. Teaching thousands of people now, right since I've been doing it for many, many years, I've seen people who were diabolically bad. And I put myself in that category and then come through to be incredible black belts. Yeah, so anyone, and I do mean anyone, can do it. It just takes time, and time is an object that we can't quite define, isn't it? Okay, so right. Hey, yoi. Hey, Tekki Shodan. First move then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ko, ju. Okay, so we're now at this point here. This point here. And the reason I'm hopefully coming into, I hope I can still be in shot here. So this is where I think it gets a little bit tricky, particularly with the arms. Okay, the stance stays the same, there's nothing too difficult about that. You're either symmetrical or you're not, but you can feel, just feel. So we're in this position here. So the next technique we're doing, we're looking to our left, okay? Imagine someone's going to ashi barai you, sweep your leg, not a good thing, okay? So from here, bring the leg up. So you want to be kind of, if you're looking at it, you look at the sole of your foot. So checking your foot for nasty things on the floor. Check the sole of your foot. This is called nami ash, and there's other variations in terms of the name, but we call it nami ash. Sole of the foot. Okay, and this is basically someone's going to sweep you, you bring your leg up, and then stand back down. Okay, so that's the sort of feeling that we're trying to get. So from this position here, look, and you bring the arm round, and you let this drop here. Okay, so you're still in this angle of 90 degrees, okay, and the wrist is straight, and you bring the hand round, and don't bring your shoulder up, just relax your shoulder down to here, as much as you can. But you do get some rotation around the knees if you really force this, you see what I mean? But it can be reduced and minimalised as best as you can, and when you're first learning, don't worry too much about that. So from this position here, look, nami ash, and bring the arm round. Look, nami ash, bring the arm round. Look to here. Try to come back into stance as much as you can. Ultimately, I say to my students, you can learn the kata like this and not worry about the stance, get the moves correct and then do the stance. Or you can do the stance, get the moves wrong, practice on whatever you need to do. Do it your way, but as long as you learn it, it's important. Okay, so fingers crossed we have enough width in the dojo for you to be able to see this. I know that I can fit it in, but I'm just hoping that I'm in camera shot for everything that we do. So, and then we come in very, very close towards the kiai. Hey, yoi. I do it nice and slow, one step at a time. Tekki Shodan. Hey, yoi. First move, dropping down. Ish. Second move, knee up looks to the front, knee. Third move, step down looks to the right. San. Heishu, backhand. Yeah, tuck this elbow in. More shin pyuchi. Shi. Go. Koshikamai, look the other way, remember at the same time. Ro. Gidanbarai. Gidanbarai not from the shoulder but from here. Gidanbarai, hooking punch. Kagazuki, hooking punch. Here, keep looking. Half a step. Keep the same height. Edge of the foot. Bring the knee up, look to the front, off the shoulder. To here. Uchiuki type feeling. Left arm come up. Right arm out. Striking Arazuki. Looking to your left. Nami ash. Bring the arm around. Look to your right. Nami ash. Bring your left arm all the way around to your hip as much as you can without bringing your shoulder up and without tilting your body too much. So again, over the years I've looked at pictures of myself and I've even done this in competition. I've done this in competition abroad more than I have in the UK. If I'm perfectly honest, I did this in France, in Grenoble and in Japan. I'm not going to say how good I did either of them, but what I noticed is that I move more my torso and relax. And when I first did it, it was very much twisted. So if you've got tension in the upper body, it will show here and your stance will twist really badly. But again, it's small things. We don't need to worry about that at the moment. So make sure when we've done this position here, look to your left, nami ash, bring the arm round, relax the shoulders. Look to your right, right leg up, nami ash, bring the shoulders down. Then from here we're going to go to kiai just to show you what it looks like. Koshi kamai, drop, remember this stays joined to here, look the other way, and double punch kiai. Here! Okay, and this is a pushing punch, Uizuki and Kagazuki. Again, variation, people do Gakazuki as well, but here this evening. Okay, and that essentially is the first half of the kata done. Second half is exactly the same, but just the other direction. So you can see that after sort of roughly half an hour, 25 minutes of training, we've got the basic principles at least of the kata. Okay, and then it's just really tuning in, honing each individual technique singularly, and then adding it in together to make your kata. Okay, and certainly for me, when I was coming up towards downgrade, the sensei I was talking about earlier, he basically was trying to help me with my timing, because my timing was appalling, if I'm honest. And essentially what I did was rush through the whole kata in probably about 35 seconds. And essentially there was no rhythm at all. So in this kata there are bits that are fast and there are bits that are very much slower. Okay, so you need to get that timing count just right, and it takes many years of practice, and I don't pretend to be brilliant and proficient at this myself, okay, but it's a kata that I thoroughly enjoy doing. I really enjoy doing this kata, Tekki knee down less so, Tekki stand down again I also love because of its technical aspects, but they're much higher grade, so beyond black belt. So this kata is a really good kata, I think, to spend time on, because the elements are replicated on both sides. So we've got this equilibrium of the body, left and right side, yin and yang, as I was talking about last week. So it's a technical kata. People would say to you, oh, it's really easy to learn. It is, to a point, but doing it correctly is a lifetime. So you can never get bored of it. As I say, I've been probably taught 10 different various ways of doing it, and all are very interesting and very different. And you've learned something new every time you do it, if I'm perfectly honest, and every time you see it done. So if you go on YouTube and type in Tekki Shodan and you just watch the first 10 videos, you will see variation like you've never seen before in Shotokan Kata. Lots of it on this kata. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think variation's good. Always looking to improve. Okay, so from the beginning, we're going to go right away through to the first kiai before we move and transition into the second part of the kata. Tekki Shodan. Okay, so from this yoi position here, dropping down. Ish. Ni, san. Shi, go, ro. Si, cha, ch. Ko. Ju. Juichi. Juni. Jusan. Jushi. Yeah! Okay, and relax. So that's the first half, and now I'll just do no count, just first half, show you what it looks like. Tekki Shodan. Okay, so I'm not the best instructor in the world at kata. I've always put myself down on this, if I'm perfectly honest. Out of my 3Ks, this is probably the area that I spent the most time on trying to improve. And it's the bit that I shied away from the most, without a doubt, from the beginning of my karate journey. But it's the bit that I do the most now and enjoy the most now, which is crazy. So again, that full circle of karate. Yeah, I started off as a kumite practitioner without a shadow of a doubt, and just kept spinning that wheel for quite a few years and enjoying it. And then started to really think about my kihon, my basics, okay, and improve those. And then essentially the latter third of my 30 years really concentrate on kata and really enjoying it. And looking and learning and reading, researching and trying different things. And you know, my black belts will probably tell you that I'm really annoying, because I do change things on a regular basis to fit in the ideology that is currently in the mind. So, you know, and it changes, and that's what it should do. If you read Gishin Funakoshi's books, they talk about an evolution of this art form that's called Shotokan with the person, and that's absolutely 100% spot on. I think I get it, but hey, wuss. So we'll continue. So we're going to go nice and slow again. I'm going to go very, very slow, move by move, so you can follow. Okay. I'm then going to reverse the first half of the kata, okay, and do with my back to the screen, and hopefully you'll be able to get an idea of what it looks like from behind and possibly follow on. I'm not a sensei that stands in front of the class with my back to them. I don't like doing that. The only place I can do that really is when we have mirrors. So our Gamingate dojo is ideal for that, but otherwise I don't like doing it. I've always taught facing students or being amongst them actually, but obviously not going to be possible at the moment. So, say the kata, Tekki Shodan. Okay, so what's important, I'm just stopping myself there, with Tekki Shodan, okay, is when we're doing this kata full speed, etc., is we tend to speed up, and when we speed up we lose form, so we lose the bits that I'm telling you about that you need to do correctly. So it's better for me, and I like to watch, and when I'm watching this kata done, I like to see it done slower. So that's just a personal thing, okay, and I've seen competition kata that's done very fast, and I've seen some of it done ridiculously slow, but I prefer to see it done slowly, and I like to see the emphasis on the tightening of the kime in the correct places. So that's just a personal thing. Okay, so, right, os. Tekki Shodan. So make sure you're in this yoi position, right hand underneath, okay, looking straight ahead. Just take the hip, let the hips drop. Okay, so dropping down, ish. Bring this knee up tight to the body, keep this control here, it's really important. Then step down and out, the hand comes out, heishu. Yeah, here. Then washi in pyuchi, roundhouse elbow, to here, meet it. Don't overdo it, don't stop it too soon. Here, side of the body. Just watch the movement here, it does move, but not too much. Koshi kamai, keep those connected. Shoulders down, gidan barai, kagazuki hooking punch. Half a step across. Okay, sokoto, yeah, edge of the foot. As you look, as you come into here, the knee comes up and looks to the front. Keep tight to here. Come up and strike. Look into your left leg up, namiash. Look to your right leg up, namiash. Shoulders down, koshi kamai, turn the head. Double punch kirai, here! And yamai. So, Tim Sensei, you're brilliant at telling me whether I'm any good or not. Am I in screen? Am I roughly there or thereabouts in terms of what we're doing? I kind of want to be conscious that I'm not disappearing off the edge of the earth. So you're getting to see this. Good evening, Sally. Good evening, Alex. Good evening, John. Good evening, is that Lucy and Paul, hopefully. Sensei Raoul, us. Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday. Hope you're well. Another 30 years old, I'm sure. He gets younger every time I see him. Good evening, Emma, us. And I think that's everybody here. So, I don't know if I'm in screen or not, but I'm hoping it looks okay. Fingers crossed. Us. Okay, so just going to turn around. Tekki Shodan. Dropping down each. Ni, san. Elbow here, yeah. Shi, go. Rok, sich, haj. Ko, jo. Juich, juni, jusan, shi, yeah. I hope that's within the realms of the frame, and you can see roughly what I'm doing there. As I say, I'm trying different formats all the time to try and improve these lessons for you as much as possible. Kata particularly difficult to do in a small space, not because of the small space, but more because of the camera frames rather than anything else. One thing I will add when we're doing this to camera is that it's awkward, I know, for you sometimes to see whether it's the right hand or left leg. I do appreciate that. I remember learning from books, almost an impossible task, so I used to read the book in the mirror, so I could imagine being the sensei facing the same way as them. only real place to learn kata is in the dojo, which we can't do at the moment. So this is the best you've got at the moment in terms of me, anyway. So I hope it's okay. Hope it comes across okay. So let's start to work on the second half of the kata. So make sure we get the whole thing completed within the hour. Okay. Right. Os. Hey, oi. Hey, say kata Tekki Shodan. Open the hands, right leg in to this position. Okay, so first move, dropping down to our right. Ich, ni, balance. San, shi, go, rok, siege, harch. Ko, balance. Ju, juich, juni, jusan, shi, yeah. Okay, so for now, open both hands. Leave the right hand where it is, left hand where it is. Bring the left hand underneath. Okay, shoulders down, square form here, shoulders down. Hei shuki, same as the beginning. Hei shuki, backhand. Mo shienpyuchi, each, shoulder down. Ni, koshi kamae, look the other way. Giramrai, hooking punch. Kagezuki, half step. Keep looking to where you're going. Always look where you're going. Edge of the foot, sokoto. Knee up, balance to here. Come up and strike. Look to your right, right leg. Namiash. Look to your left, left leg. And shoulders, keep them square as much as you can. Very difficult to do. Koshi kamae. Together. Together. Koshi kamae. Double punch kyo. Open the hands, right leg in, right hand underneath. Inoi. And right, os. Okay, so that's the whole kata all the way through, squeezed in. As you can see, it's I call it symmetrical. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but basically it's the same either side. So yin and yang works really, really well. You're practicing the right side, practicing the left side. Couple of key things to point out before we continue. The more shienpyuchi. Elbow to the hand. Here, not hand to the elbow. Okay, so from here, here. Rotate with the hip. Hip. Does that make sense? Okay. Here, and keep this connected. Koshi kamae, connected. Okay. The namiash. Try not to kick yourself. Yeah, sometimes you'll catch the end of the gi and you'll get a little bit of noise, but that's okay. But kicking yourself, why? Ow, why? So there's no need to do that. So you're coming up here, bang, ready to stamp back down. Fumakomi? Yeah, fumakomi, stamping kick. So here, stamp back down. Okay. Your stance, natural. Too wide. Your posture, too forwards, too back. Okay. First technique. So this position here, not step across. Down, down. Second technique. Keep control. Yeah. So contraction, shime. It helps your control, and you're essentially sitting down on this leg. So this leg flexes considerably. So if we stay upright, really upright, and throw the knee out, we're going to lose our balance. So we lose our form. Okay, so this is not good karate. So try to be mindful of this when you start. Drop down. You're there already, so stay there. Yeah. Contraction. You have more control over everything if the knee is nearer to you. So as soon as with the human body we throw a limb out, we essentially detach it from the rest of the body. Okay, so weaker down here, the further away it is from the body, the less control we have, so the weaker it is. The more we bring it in and connect it tighter to the body, the more control we have. So if I was trying to pull someone over from here, I'm just using my fingers. If I articulate my elbow, okay, then I'm using my fingers and my wrist and maybe the forearm. Okay, but if I bring it in and bring my shoulder down here, I'm using my body. I'm not just using my arm. Okay, so when we do kaki waki uki, for instance, reverse wedge block, yeah, we don't do this. We pull in, we connect the body. Everything contracts together. And then you're using your body for what it's worth. So I weigh 90 kilos, so 90 kilos of strength. Okay, 90 kilos is a heavy weight. Okay, so used correctly, powerful. This is not 90 kilos. This is 5, 10, 8. Don't know. So I hope that makes sense. So try to make in your head, yeah, a chain that's linked together, and try to put your karate together keeping that chain in where it should be. It takes a long time. It takes a long time to learn about your body. If you have a keen interest in physiology and biology, then it's easier, definitely. And I was very fortunate that Debbie, my wife, did a PE degree, and I did it with them in terms of understanding the human body. But also, karate practice has taught me more about my body than anything I could ever believe. Okay, it's helped me understand my mind better, so it's brilliant for mental health. And it's made to understand my body. And I've had a lot of physical injuries, okay, I'm doing, I might add, and through stupidity or doing dangerous things. But I know the physical limitations of my body now, okay, particularly as I get older, but I'm still faster than I was when I was in my 20s. How does that work? Well, I've just learned to use it more efficiently. Okay, so, Tekki Shodan. Relax, okay, and Shizentai, Musubadachi, and Rei Os. Tekki Shodan. Nice and slow speed. Hey, yoi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah! Hey, relax your stance, open your hands, slide in together. Hey, Renoi, Amrei, Os. Hey, back to Yoi. And finish. Os. Okay, so I'm not a technical master, as you can tell from doing kata, but this is my understanding of how we do Tekki Kata. I'm going to do it all the way through now to hopefully help you understand and learn this kata maybe a bit more. Best place to do that obviously is in the dojos, which we can't at the moment. Okay, so one last time going through, all the way through. I'll do it at regular speed, maybe a little bit slower than normal, but hopefully okay. Tekki Shodan. Os. Hey, Inoi. And relax. Os. So, Tekki Shodan, fingers crossed you saw some of it at least, if not all. And if you could give me a little bit of feedback, be as brutal as you like, I really don't care at this moment in time, and I don't really care overall, but I do listen, I promise you. What I mean is you won't offend me. So I think it's really good to get some feedback. I did think about doing the Heian katas tonight. The trouble is we were losing shot, so going to play around with this format. I know people have said on TV screens it definitely looks better in landscape, so I know Tim will be happy with this tonight because it's correct in terms of the way it looks on the screen. Otherwise you get the size blurred out, I think, when you're doing mobiles on TV screens. It doesn't look as good. So we'll see how it looks. Hopefully the GoPro's caught some of the footage. I'm kind of hoping it'll caught at least the kata once, so we can put that on our YouTube channel as well. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get to see you all again on Thursday. Thursday we'll do something completely different. I'm going to try and mix the lessons up a little bit. And as I said, the plan for the near future, certainly with the January coming, I guess, towards an end, really, we're almost in mid-January now, aren't we? So our plan is to possibly, if I can, organise an online Kangeiku via Zoom or Microsoft Teams. I don't know which is easier. If I'm honest, I'm going to get some help on that, hopefully, so that we can kind of come together as many of them.